So this video is aimed mostly at people with eating disorders, and since it's a really important message, I've gotten organized again. I've got my helpers in the back. So, first of all, starvation is bad. It's bad. We think it's good. Well, we think it's good. We think that it's necessary in order to lose weight really fast. And in the beginning we do. We do. But the problem is that that's when our body freaks out. Because if we eat less than 1,000 calories a day, approximately, if you're a girl, 1,200 calories a day, then your body freaks out and it goes into self-preservation mode. Which is what brings us to metabolism. Our metabolism slows down to a crawl. Really, it slows down to the point where before you could eat this much food and not gain weight. But now, because you've been starving and starving and starving, you can eat this much food and not gain weight. That's a problem because if you've gotten to the point in your recovery where you're willing to start eating again and stop losing weight, then it's an issue because when we start eating again, we start gaining weight, because of us only being able to eat this much. Then we start eating this much and we gain weight and gain weight and gain weight. Which is a bad thing for someone with an eating disorder because it makes us freak out and stop eating. How do we get by that? Well, metabolism, you're going to have to go to the judge. The judge is the metabolism. You say, "Judge, I'm willing to start eating again." But the judge says, "Oh, you say that now, but we're going to get our hands bitten when you stop. So you're going to have to prove yourself to the judge. You have to keep eating and keep eating and keep eating and keep eating, which means that you're going to have to keep gaining weight, sadly." However, at that point, once your body, it might take a few weeks, it might take a few months, but once you've been eating for a certain period of time, you can go back to the judge, and the judge says, "Well, you have been eating, I do admit, your record shows." So, metabolism says that you can eat normally and stay at the same weight. Yay. However, the problem with that in eating disorders is that, like I said, it makes us freak out and want to lose weight again. And I knew that that would be a problem for me. And I actually met with a dietitian. And I'm gonna hide these. And I asked her about these things because I knew that if I would freak out if I gained a lot of weight by eating normally. So I asked, could I start eating not normal amounts, but at least not in starvation mode for a long period of time, and then my body would slowly go up to the correct metabolism. And I asked, is that, it'll take longer, but would that work? And she said, yes. Yay, thank goodness. So, the idea is that we would have to eat, say, 1,200 calories a day if you're a girl. If you're a guy, say 1,400, 1,500. And, where was I at? This is a lot of information to try and remember. Okay, sorry, my program shut down. That brings us to exercise. If you're eating 1,200 or 1,500 calories a day, but you are doing 1,200 calories worth of exercise, and you go to the judge won't be impressed. And he'll say, go back, try next time. But you could do moderate exercise. Let's say you're at 1,400 calories if you're a girl, and you do an hour's worth of exercise, then you'll have added 200 calories, that's okay. So whatever amount of exercise you do, you have to add on to the calories that you've eaten. Sad, but yeah, and scary. And then the judge will think it's okay. Slowly, and then after a while, once your metabolism has sped up some more, and you're at a point where, let's say you're eating 1,200 and you're starting to lose weight, then you can go up to, like, let's say 1,500, 1,800 or something. You gradually go up as you go, and once your metabolism is adjusted, then you go up again until where you're at a normal eating, which is desired. Trust me, well, for me anyways, it is desired, and I'm sure that it is desired by many. So, next one. Water. That's a scary one. Well, it's a scary one. It's not nearly as scary as the other ones. But water, we're supposed to drink 8 cups a day, and I know that with an eating disorder we can get to the point where we don't even want to have water because that'll make us heavier. We're afraid that it'll stay inside us, make us bloat. But the truth is, water will pass right through us. And water speeds up the metabolism. So water is a good thing. Think of it as a good thing if you're having an eating disorder instead of a bad thing, because water speeds up the metabolism. And I did this test. If every morning I would have, like, say, 50 mini wheats with 5 cups of water. 5 cups. Trust me, I was very full of water. But let's say if I had my mini wheats at 7 a.m., by noon, I weighed less than I did when I had my mini wheats and the water. So it goes to show that it doesn't make me gain weight. I lost all the water, and I weighed slightly less. So water, not scary. And I did this for quite a while. I did this for months' time. Water every morning, 5 cups a day, and even sometimes across the day I would have another 5 cups or another 2 cups or 3 cups or whatever. I would drink up to 15 cups a day of water. This was my water test. I wanted to be able to tell you guys for real that this worked. And I could drink 15 cups of water a day, and I still wouldn't gain weight. I would lose it all. I would piss it all out. Gone. So I can tell you, based on my personal experience, that it works. You can get rid of all that water, and you can drink, and you can be hydrated, and that is a really, really important thing with eating disorders, because, well, especially bulimia, because we end up purging, and we need to drink, and we end up losing too much water. We end up getting very, very dehydrated, which is, yes, definitely a problem. So water, good. Once I got there, okay, next part I wanted to say was how not easy it is to do this. Wow, my program shuts down every time I get a mental blockage, which is very convenient, so I get to think about things. I was saying, starvation is bad, but as bad as starvation is, we end up wanting to stay there, well, not necessarily wanting, but staying there because we're so scared of gaining weight. And that fear can and does keep us from recovering. So what I'm going to talk about now is how I felt when I was going through this, which was, I was terrified. I was beyond terrified. Okay, the first day I eat, I think I'm going to do it. Well, at least my 1,000-something calories. And I was convinced that it wouldn't work. Well, I kept reading on the internet about how this worked, and so I thought it has to work, but in my mind I thought there was always this huge fear that it wouldn't. But I get up and I wanted to purge, but I stuck to my guns. This time I thought, this is an experiment. You tell yourself, this is an experiment, I can at least try this. At least try, and if it doesn't work, no, then I may have gained a few pounds, but at least I'll have tried. And anyways, I get up the next morning and I didn't gain weight. which was a relief, and I wanted to laugh out loud, so relieved I was. And then for the next few days, like even with the second and third and fourth day that it worked, I still, at the end of the day, was terrified that I was going to wake up in the morning completely fat, that I was still going to have kept all that weight, but I lost it. Well, I lost it, I lost my mind and I lost the weight. So, wow. I really did freak out a lot. I did cut myself because of it. It induced a lot of self-injury. It made me want to throw up. It made me, I had to go to the hospital a few times, but I did it, and I am not sorry, because now I can say that my metabolism is at approximately 80% of what it was before I started my eating disorder. So I can eat pretty well and not gain weight, which is pretty fantastic, and I'm so glad of it. I was so miserable living like that day to day. Let's say, okay, if you had an eating disorder for quite a while, you know what this is. Getting invited to supper. And it's like, oh, that would be so nice to go spend time with my friends, but there's no way that I can sit there at that table and then go to the bathroom afterwards and purge it out, or sit at the table and almost eat nothing and have them ask questions about it. So you end up not going out or freaking out when you do go out. And I was thinking, I want a normal life. I want to be able to eat and just be normal. And it was taking up too much of my life and my mind, and I was at a place where I was ready and able to say, okay, I have to try this now. And I would have to say that if you're just starting an eating disorder, or you're thinking about stopping, about not eating anymore, then think about this. Think about meeting the judge after a year and not being able to eat normally. Okay, the thing stopped again. It's making me kind of bonzo. Let's say that you haven't started to starve yourself. Think about this. You will lose more weight if you eat at least 1,200 calories a day than if you go down to, like, say, 400 or 700 or 200 or whatever is in the starvation mode range. So I think, at least I hope, I've given you guys a lot to think about. If you start trying this and then you start freaking out, maybe watch this video again, and so that it can reassure you that it can be okay, or do research on it, and that will hopefully also reassure you. Look up metabolism and anorexia and stuff, and I found some good things when I was doing that. Maybe I can try and find some of the stuff again and put some links to the things that really helped me to be able to continue. So that's all I had to say. I'm going to shut up before this video gets wacko long. I don't know how long it is yet, because the thing keeps stopping, so whatever. Bye.